In this episode, we will discuss one of Billy Meier's prophecies regarding a severe earthquake and its aftermath in future California. The prophecy was provided by the Pleiadian extraterrestrial beings, whom Billy Meier claimed to have contacted and who had knowledge of this event through time travel. Given the sensational and dramatic nature of the content, we can treat it as a fictional story for listening purposes. According to Billy Meier's description, sometime between 2020 and 2030, he did not specify the exact year, a catastrophic earthquake measuring a Richter scale magnitude of 9 will occur in California. The epicenter will be a shallow underwater earthquake located approximately 160 kilometers southwest of Portland, Oregon. After the earthquake, the entire San Francisco Bay Area will be severely affected, with buildings collapsing. About 20 minutes later, a massive tsunami will strike California. Starting from San Francisco, the areas west of Highway 5 in California will be devastated by the earthquake. Shortly thereafter, another earthquake, measuring magnitude 7 to 8, will hit Southern California. The epicenter will be off the coast of Los Angeles, and a massive tsunami will make landfall from Long Beach, submerging entire Los Angeles under several tens of feet of mud. San Diego will also be affected. From San Francisco to Los Angeles and San Diego, the three major cities will suffer from the disaster. Following this catastrophe, it will require trillions of dollars to rebuild the three major cities, a cost that the U.S. government cannot afford. Due to the financial burden, California will declare independence, as the state will need to seek funds from the federal government for the reconstruction, which will be astronomically expensive. As California goes bankrupt, the value of the U.S. dollar will be affected, and the issuance of government bonds will become impossible. Consequently, a crisis will erupt in the U.S. dollar and U.S. bonds, as California realizes that, as part of the United States, it would have to bear trillions of dollars in national debt and tremendous uncertainty. They believe that independence would be preferable, absolving themselves of any responsibility for U.S. debt. When California declares independence, it directly leads to the collapse of the U.S. dollar. As the world purchases U.S. bonds, not only shareholders of the Federal Reserve, the U.S. government promises to pay interest on the bonds, which is part of the U.S. citizens' tax payments. As California's GDP accounts for a quarter of the U.S. economy, if California becomes independent, a quarter of the tax revenue will be lost, resulting in problems with interest payments on U.S. bonds. Consequently, the creditworthiness of U.S. bonds will not be AAA, and the world will begin selling off U.S. bonds. As a result, the U.S. bond market collapses, leading to the collapse of the U.S. dollar. Subsequently, a financial storm hits the United States, and the stock market crashes. Institutions holding U.S. assets, including global banks, which are required to purchase U.S. bonds, and all retirement funds, face bankruptcy. If U.S. bonds encounter serious problems, it means that most countries' pension funds will be unable to provide the promised benefits. Initially, countries join forces to rescue the U.S. dollar, implementing measures such as interest rate cuts and massive money printing. However, some countries find this approach ineffective and begin to abandon the rescue efforts, leading to the unfolding disaster. This triggers a massive civil war within the United States because Americans lose their financial security, including savings, housing, and retirement benefits, due to the financial crisis, and the government lacks sufficient funds. This civil war subsequently escalates into the Third World War. Why would the Civil War escalate into the Third World War? First, the left-wing rebellion, including California's independence, is the reason. Initially, American citizens, angry due to unemployment, loss of savings, housing, and retirement benefits, begin attacking federal government facilities and banks. Initially, the United States uses the police to suppress them, but due to their large numbers, the National Guard is deployed. Yet they are unable to control the millions of people involved. As a result, The military is reluctantly deployed to suppress the rebellion, and the Second American Civil War erupts. Similar situations arise in many states across the country, as people wage war against the ruling authorities in the United States, rather than the president, the shadow government of America. In order to quell the internal strife and civil war, the shadow government of America orders Germany to engage in ground warfare with a hostile country to the United States. Due to sensitive information, the identity of this hostile country cannot be revealed. They shift all blame onto this country, claiming that they orchestrated the financial crisis. The time has come for this episode again. Stay tuned for the next one.